in the freezing heart of Russia's Ural Mountains. Back in February 1959, 9 young and experienced hikers embarked on an expedition. They were supposed to return, celebrated and accomplished. Instead, they vanished into the icy wilderness. What rescuers stumbled upon weeks later wasn't a simple accident, but the beginning of one of the most chilling and baffling mysteries of the 20th century. They found a tent, bizarrely torn open from the inside. They found bare footprints leading away into the biting snow. They found bodies, scattered miles apart, with injuries that defied all logical explanation. This is the haunting story of the Dyatlov Pass incident. The group was led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student and a highly skilled mountaineer. His team, consisting of 7 men and 2 women, were all seasoned hikers, driven by the ambition to earn a Grade 3 certification, the highest in the Soviet Union at the time. They began their journey on January 23, 1959, trekking towards their ultimate goal, Mount Otorten. In the language of the local Mansi people, the name carries an ominous warning: don't go there. For days, they pushed forward, documenting their journey in diaries and photographs, battling freezing winds and deep snow. But on the night of February 1st, they deviated from their planned route. Instead of finding a safer, more sheltered spot, they made a fateful and inexplicable decision to set up camp on the exposed slope of a mountain, ominously known as Kholit Syakhl, or the Mountain of the Dead. We'll never know exactly what transpired on that slope, but whatever it was terrifying. When investigators finally reached the campsite, they found a scene of pure chaos. The hiker's tent had been sliced open, but not from the outside by an animal or another person. The cuts were made from within, as if the occupants were desperate to escape. Inside, all their belongings, warm coats, heavy boots, food, and equipment were left behind. Leading away from the tent and down towards the tree line was a trail of footprints. Some were made by people wearing only socks, others were completely barefoot, imprinted in the deep, sub-zero snow. This wasn't a calm, orderly evacuation. It was a panicked, frantic flight into the deadly cold. The search party followed the tracks. About a mile away, near the edge of a forest, they found the first 2 bodies. Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonashenko were discovered under a tall cedar tree, next to the remnants of a small fire. They were dressed only in their underwear. Their hands were burnt, suggesting a desperate attempt to stay warm or signal for help. 3 more bodies, including that of the group leader, Igor Dyatlov, were found scattered between the cedar tree and the abandoned tent. Their positions suggested they had been trying to crawl back up the slope, back to the false safety of their camp, before succumbing to the extreme cold. For 2 long months, the fate of the remaining 4 hikers was unknown. Then, in May, as the snow began to melt, the final 4 were discovered in a ravine, buried under 13 feet of snow. And this is where the mystery deepens into something truly disturbing. These 4 hikers had suffered catastrophic internal injuries. Lyudmila Dubanina and Semyon Zolotaryev had multiple crushed ribs, injuries consistent with the force of a major car crash. Nikolai Thobobrinyolis had a fractured skull, yet, shockingly, their bodies showed almost no external signs of trauma. There were no bruises, no cuts, nothing to explain the devastating damage within. Furthermore, tests on their clothing revealed significant levels of radioactive contamination. What could possibly cause such horrific internal injuries without leaving a mark? And why were their clothes radioactive? The official cause of death for most of the group was hypothermia. But for these 4, the questions were just beginning. Investigators were stumped. The case was officially closed with a frustratingly vague conclusion. The hikers died as a result of a compelling natural force. But that explained nothing. Over the decades, countless theories have emerged, each trying to piece together the terrifying puzzle. The most widely accepted official theory is a slab avalanche. Proponents suggest a small, delayed avalanche buried part of the tent, causing the hikers to panic, cut their way out, and flee without their gear, eventually getting lost and freezing to death. The internal injuries, they argue, could have been caused by the immense pressure of the snow, but many experts disagree. The slope wasn't steep enough for a typical avalanche, and the search party found no evidence of one. Plus, why would experienced mountaineers run downhill, away from their shelter, in the face of an avalanche? Then there's the military theory. The area was known for secret Soviet weapons testing. Were the hikers accidental witnesses to something they weren't supposed to see? This could explain the strange, glowing orbs that other witnesses reported in the sky that night. Perhaps it was a parachute mine test, where the concussive blast caused the internal injuries and the panicked flight. This theory also seems to line up with the radiation found on the clothing. Some even whisper of a clandestine cleanup crew sent to eliminate any witnesses. But again, there's no hard evidence, only suspicion and circumstantial clues. Another fascinating, more scientific explanation is the infrasound theory. This suggests that a rare weather phenomenon, like a Kármán vortex street, could have been created by wind moving over the mountain, generating low-frequency sound waves. Infrasound is inaudible to the human ear, but has been shown to cause intense, irrational feelings of panic, dread, and nausea. This could explain why the hikers suddenly fled their tent in a state of terror, leaving everything behind. While it explains their bizarre behavior, it doesn't account for the brutal internal injuries or the radiation. And of course, there are the more supernatural theories. Some pointed fingers at the indigenous Mansi people, seeking revenge for trespassing on sacred land. But investigators quickly ruled this out, finding no signs of a struggle or another party. Others whisper of the paranormal, even a Yeti, citing strange photos found in the hikers' cameras and the severity of the injuries. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case, hoping modern technology could finally provide a definitive answer. Their conclusion, once again, pointed to a slab avalanche, combined with poor visibility, and the hikers' subsequent disoriented flight into the freezing darkness. It's a neat and tidy explanation, but for many, including the families of the victims and independent researchers, it leaves too many questions unanswered. The internal injuries, the radiation, the tent being cut from the inside, the orderly line of footprints, none of it quite fits. The scene remains too strange, too perfectly unexplained. More than 60 years have passed, and the slopes of Kholat-Syakhl still hold their secrets. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains a haunting testament to the unknown. There were no survivors, no witnesses, just 9 young lives tragically cut short. All that is left is the endless whisper of the mountain winds, and a mystery that continues to fascinate and horrify the world. What do you think really happened that night on the Mountain of the Dead? Share your theory in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy exploring history's greatest mysteries, make sure to like and subscribe for more.